What if I told you there's a government-approved account where your investments can grow and you pay absolutely zero tax on it? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on one of Canada's most powerful and, let's be honest, most misunderstood financial tools, the TFSA. And trust me, this is way more than just a savings account. It's your secret weapon for building wealth.
Okay, quick question. When you hear the letters TFSA, what's the first word that pops into your head? I'm gonna bet it's savings. Am I right? If that's what you thought, you're in good company. But that one little word is actually the biggest myth we're gonna bust today.
Here's the real deal. The name tax-free savings account is frankly terrible marketing. It's not really a savings account at all. Think of it more like a tax-sheltered treasure chest for your money. Whatever you put inside this chest can grow and grow. And here's the magic part. Every single penny of that growth is 100% tax-free. For real.
All right, so let's dig into that first big idea. The moment you stop seeing the TFSA as a place to just park cash and start seeing it as an investment container, well, that's when you unlock its true power to grow your wealth.
So what can you actually put inside this treasure chest? Oh, it's so much more than just cash. You can fill it up with GICs, bonds, stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, you name it. And the best part? All the interest, the dividends, the capital gains, whatever your money earns, the tax man can't touch it. It's all yours.
Now, to really make this thing work for you, you've got to know the rules of the game. And the single most important rule, the foundation for everything, is understanding your contribution room. If you get this one concept, you're golden. And figuring out your room, it's actually way simpler than it sounds. It's basically a three-part recipe. First, you take all the room you didn't use in previous years. Second, you add this year's brand new limit. And third, and this part is a total game changer, any money you took out last year gets added right back to your limit on January 1st of this year. How cool is that?
And just to give you an idea of how powerful this is, check out this number. As of January 1st, 2025, if you've been eligible since the very beginning back in 2009 and never put a single dime in, you'd have $102,000 of contribution room. That is a massive runway for building tax-free wealth. So where does that giant number come from? Well, every year, the government sets a limit. You can see it started at $5,000 back in '09, and it's slowly ticked up over the years, with that one huge jump to $10,000 in 2015. Your total room is just all of these numbers added up from the year you turned 18. And here's the absolute best part, and the CRA even uses this example. Say the limit for the year is $6,000, but you only have $2,000 to put in. What happens to that other $4,000 of space? Nothing. It just rolls over. It gets added to your total room for next year. And the key takeaway here is your contribution room never, ever, ever expires. It's always there waiting for you. Okay, so you get the rules now. Let's get to the fun part, strategy. How do we actually use this thing to build a better future for your family? This leads to a super common question I hear from couples. You're planning your finances together, and one of you has completely maxed out your TFSA, but your partner has tons of unused room. So can you just drop your money into their account? What's the deal? The rules on this are super clear, so listen up. You can't contribute directly to your spouse's TFSA. No way. But what you can do is give them the money as a gift, an official, no-strings-attached gift. They put that money into their own bank account first, and then they contribute it to their TFSA. As long as it's a clean gift, it's totally above board and a fantastic strategy for a family to max out their combined tax-free space. All right, so you've got the rules, you've got a strategy, but just as important is knowing the mistakes to avoid. Let's talk about some of the costly traps people fall into, so you can protect all that tax-free growth you're working so hard for. Okay, this is a big one. Probably the #1 mistake people make. Moving a TFSA from one bank to another. This is so critical. The right way is to have the banks do a direct transfer. You fill out a form, and they move the money behind the scenes. You never touch it. The wrong way is pulling the cash out yourself, putting it in your checking account, and then depositing it into the new TFSA. The CRA sees that as a brand new contribution, and that can get you into a world of hurt. And if you think I'm being dramatic, just look at this real-life story. This person's husband did exactly that. He withdrew the money himself to move it. The problem was, he'd already used up all his contribution room for the year. Boom! That move got flagged as an overcontribution, and the penalty ended up costing him over $400 in just 6 months, all for a mistake that was so easy to avoid. And that penalty is absolutely brutal. It's a 1% tax on the excess amount, not per year, per month. 1% might not sound like a lot, but believe me, it adds up so fast, it can completely erase any gains you've made. It's a painful lesson to learn. And it's so easy to do by accident. Take Jamal here. He had $7,000 of room for the year, but life gets busy, he wasn't tracking it perfectly, and he ended up putting in $9,200. Now he's got this $2,200 excess just sitting there, and every single month, ding, 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 he's getting hit with that 1% tax until he fixes it. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. Rules, strategies, traps. So let's boil it all down into one simple master plan, your TFSA cheat sheet. If you only remember a handful of things from our chat today, make it these points. First, say it with me. This is a tool for investing, not just saving. Second, always know your contribution room. You can find the exact number on your CRA My Account online. It's easy. Third, if you ever move your TFSA, you have to use a direct transfer, no exceptions. Fourth, remember that when you take money out, you get that room back, but not until January 1st of the next year. And finally, the most important rule of all, just start. Seriously, even if it's small. Time is your best friend here. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's not just about rules and accounts and numbers on a screen. It's about giving your family the power that comes from making smart financial choices. It's about building a future that's secure and prosperous. So, there you have it. You have the roadmap now. You know how this powerful tool works, what it can do for you, and how to use it the right way. The power truly is in your hands. So the only question left is, what's your next move? What's one thing you can do today to put this into action? Now, if this all feels like a lot and you'd rather have a professional guide you through creating your financial plan, the folks at Moneris Financial Services are a great resource. You can call or even text them at 778-898-3202. You can also shoot an email to mensor@moneris.com or just check out their website at moneris.com. Thanks so much for tuning in.